One guy whose name will not come up in this hiring cycle as it relates to any potential new job is Jon Gruden. But finally, news was made yesterday as it relates to the lawsuit that he filed on November 11 against the NFL and Roger Goodell, arising from the way that the emails were leaked by someone who had possession of them. And the theory is they were strategically leaked to engineer the end of his employment as the head coach of the Raiders. The NFL, as I expected, they filed two motions. I expected one. I didn't really think about the other one. One motion, the one I expected, is the argument that Jon Gruden can't bring this lawsuit, this claim, in court. He's got to use an arbitration process, which is always better for the big money interests. It's always better to go to arbitration, because if you go to arbitration, you avoid a jury. And a jury, nobody holds an oligarch accountable like a jury of average persons who finally get their chance to hold an oligarch accountable.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
And secondly, they've argued that there's basically nothing in here that is a viable legal claim. It's called a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim. And the argument is, if everything this guy's saying is true, it doesn't matter. The law gives him no pathway to showing that we did something wrong and deserving compensation for any damage we supposedly did to his career. The law doesn't help him here. He may be 100% factually right. The law doesn't help him here. So those are the two positions the NFL has taken, and now it goes forward. He'll respond to it, and it'll take a few months, and we'll eventually find out. Number one, does he get to go forward at all? Number two, does he go forward in arbitration, or does he go forward in court in Nevada?
All right, so wait, here's my question for you, and I think I know the answer, but you're smarter than me, and you know more about this. So there's no law as far as releasing someone's private emails or anything like that? Is it all just because it was to Bruce Allen and the fact that he was underneath the NFL umbrella at that point? Is that why? I mean, that to me is what I questioned. I that's what I didn't understand. I hear everything you're saying, but there's no law in the fact of hey, if Jon Gruden's claiming we released the emails, so what? There's nothing to say wait, that was personal information and it was a smear campaign and you did it deliberately to, damage the guy's reputation and get him out of the NFL. There's no law that protects that?
It's two different issues.
Yeah.
Now, I remember at the time when this all happened, when the emails came out, I think one of the points I made somewhere, I can't remember whether it was this show, afternoon show, or at PFT, or maybe on a radio spot somewhere, but let me just say it now. There's no privilege that applies to sending someone an email. The only privileges, and there are very few, you've got your attorney-client privilege, you've got your doctor-patient privilege, you've got your marital privilege, you've got maybe a clergy privilege that depends on the jurisdiction, but and this is in the paperwork the NFL filed. Jon Gruden voluntarily sent those emails to Bruce Allen. He voluntarily sent them. He said these things. There's no protection when you say these things.
It's not like phone records or anything like that.
There's no privilege.
Yeah.
He said not. But the question is.
Right.
And this is where it feels wrong to me, just viscerally wrong to me from the NFL's perspective, that you have these 650,000 emails that you are supposedly keeping private. You are supposedly treating these like they are privileged, they are protected, they are confidential, and we're not going to give them to anybody. We're treating these as special. We're treating these as private, but we're going to peel off a couple of them and we're going to leak them to the media to get a guy fired.
That's what seems weird. You're right.
That's where it doesn't feel right to me.
Right. No, I think that's probably why I think that. You're right, because I'm sitting there going, wait, they don't want to release the rest of the emails and show everybody, but this was okay. That's
trying to have it both ways.
Yeah,
can't have it both ways.
Okay, that's where it seemed off to me too, and that's where I was getting back into that legal question there because I just didn't understand that. So all right, but yeah, you're right. They are. They're trying to have it both ways.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Because it's just like with football. We try to make it seem very complicated, like the legal process is complicated, and parts of it are. Parts of it are very simple, and one of the things you're always looking for when you're in a litigation posture, you're trying to show that the other side's trying to have it both ways.
Yeah.
And that'd be my argument.
Right.
If I was the one representing Jon Gruden, I'd say, hey, Judge, they're trying to have it both ways. They're treating these 650,000 emails like no one should see any of them ever under any circumstance, no matter what. But somebody who has access to them decided, let's take a few of these and send them to the media because we know what's going to happen. Jon Gruden's going to be out of a job.
Yeah.
And we want that to happen. We want that to occur. And you can't have it both ways. That's a powerful argument. You can't, and it's a simple argument. Can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.